potential mistake I see is on number 4. Make sure you do product rule, because that's a variable times a variable there with that BH. And yeah, let me do.
Wait, never mind.
Can we just like talk through this?
Never mind. Figured it out.
You're good.
Yeah, I did the first section, so I did the 5 times 3 and forgot to do the minus 5.
You said 15.
Yeah.
Any other questions on 1 through 4? Or any actual questions? All right, so it's kind of up to you. Do you want me to start going through the word problems there, or do you want a chance to try them first? Why don't we do a couple at a time?
Yeah. Like 5 and let us do
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Shut up.
No, I don't want the freaking answers. Just wait for me. Yeah, you just have it. So I went through and figured out what your next test is. Your unit test is your midterm. If someone wants to say it's not a midterm, I can very easily argue that this is like a cumulative test because you need to know all this stuff.
It's worth more because
It's not worth it. So today we're doing 4-5, tomorrow 4-6, Friday 4-7. I got 2 days here for review, and then I also have like a backup day because we go until Thursday. So if we need to slow down for any of these units and spend 2 days, I've got 1 day built in there that we could possibly do that, and I could also push the test back. So there's 3 sections we have, and we have 2 extra days if we need them. So we'll get it in before break, and it actually works out fine. I'm not going to start a new chapter before break anyways. And this times up pretty well to end right when it's supposed to. But yeah, it's just a regular test, constantly as any other test. It's not a okay, so 4, 5. We'll open the answers this time. Should I do the ones in the notes too? Yeah, please. Alright. And then I'll do number 5 and I'll do 6. While we're doing these examples up here, I see width, rectangle, length, and area. So they're saying draw a picture. I'm not sure how much that would help in this one, but we can do it. I've got a rectangle. And the width, so this is W, and then there's also dW dt. If the width is increasing at a rate of 2, is that W or dW dt? That's the change, the rate, so that's your derivative level, so that's dW dt. And then this would be my L, and it's probably got a dL dt attached to it also. The length is increasing at a rate of 3, so since that's the rate, that's the derivative level, so this is 3. And then, kind of inside, I'll put, because I see area, so I'll just write down area and dA over dt. We probably don't need area. At what rate is the area increasing? So that's what I'm looking for. That's my x. When the width is 4 and the length is 5. So just throwing it another way, they could do this. Sometimes they won't tell you the length is 5. They'll tell you the width is 4 and the area is 20. Then you have to realize area is length times width and figure out that the length is 5. Heads up for that. This one they just give it to you. I'm never going to need to know A actually. I mean it's 20. I can multiply. But when I take the derivative of the A, I just care about d dt. So if I were doing this one, I would go A equals L times W. That is a variable times a variable, so I have to use product rule. So fig plus gif. So the derivative of the first thing is dL over dt times the second thing plus the derivative of the second thing, which is WDT times the first thing. And then if you get to there, they're typically pretty straightforward. So now I'm just plugging in. So WDT is 3, the width was 4, WDT was 2, and L was 5. So 12 plus 10 is 22. What are the units on that? If it's the change in the area. Careful, centimeters per second. Centimeters squared per second. Area is centimeters squared because it's like two-dimensional. If you tell me per second squared, we're actually at like the acceleration level. That's a little tricky. No, I just sorry. So that would be the answer for that. Is that okay for that? The rectangle example? I know it's in the notes, but yeah, that definitely think it's helpful to go through things. So I'm doing the police car one. So I always label these, like I was saying yesterday, I'm going to call, like that's the x-axis and that's the y-axis. So I'm going to have x down here, and then I've probably got a dx dt with it. Y is here, I've probably got a dy dt with it. And z is here, and I've probably got a dz dt with it. So police car is approaching from the north, and the police car is 0.6 miles north of the intersection. So that is 0.6. And the car is 0.8 miles to the east, so x is 0.8. And then they don't tell me z, but could I find z right now? Just use a Pythagorean theorem. So remember 3, 4, 5 goes together, which means 6, 8, 10 goes together. Like those are just 6 squared plus 8 squared would equal 10 squared. It's just like Pythagorean triples. So couldn't I just say like that? 0.6, 0.8, 1 would go together. So that one's going to be 1. Or, I mean, if you get stuck, just do the square root of 0.6 squared plus 0.8 squared. The police car, the distance between them and the car is increasing at 20 miles per hour, so dz dt, because that's the distance between them and the car, is a positive 20. And the police car is moving 60. Be careful, because the distance between the police car and the corner is not getting bigger or smaller. It's getting smaller. So this is going to be negative 60. Think about it like we're going down. So this is going to be negative 60. There's kind of a couple ways to look at it. Is that how we do it on the notes? So then my next job, that's my picture. I kind of labeled everything, and then I want an equation that relates all of those things. So what's an equation that relates x, y, and z in a right triangle? It's going to be your Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus y squared equals z squared. Take the derivative of everything, and when you take the derivative of a variable, multiply it by d whatever over dt. I think in this one we know everything except for one thing, which is what we're looking for. So that's good. Every now and then there's one on here where there's like 2 things missing, and you have to go off on a side quest to find one of them and then bring it back. But that's not this one. So this is 0.8. Dx dt plus 2, y is 0.6, dy dt is negative 60, equals 2 times z is 1, and dt is 20. So let me stop there. The question though, like that setup, I'm getting that stuff there. Okay. And then just to finish, I'm sure you guys can finish it, but just to sake of completing it, this would be 1.2 times negative 60, so that's negative 72. So I would add it over here to the 40. That'd be 112. Stop me if I did some mental math wrong. Divide by 0.8. 112. So dividing by 0.8, I'll multiply.
It's 2x when you plug in 2 for x. It's 2x times 2.
So I forgot the 2. You told me. Yeah. Thank you. That was gonna be really fast. 100 and something miles per hour. 1.6. Okay, that I can't do that. What's that come out to? 7. That's speed. That's miles per hour. Is that speed? Question on that? Set up. Alright, so let me do like 5, like you were saying. And then you guys do 6. I think 7 is the hardest. That's the side question. Alright, number 5. You want a second to try it? Let me go through it or should I just do it?
Wait, can you just
Too late, too late.
Oh, I was gonna say start it and then we can finish it. Like just draw the picture.
Yeah.
And we can finish it.
I got an ice cube. It's melting. At a rate of 5 cubic centimeters per hour. So that's like 5 centimeters cubed per hour. So that's one of the clues. And the other kind of clue is the ice cube's just getting smaller. But are we working with like volume, area, surface area? What are we looking at? The whole cube is just shrinking. That's volume, right? So the dV dt is negative 5. So the volume of that cube is shrinking because it's melting. So I know I need volume in there somewhere. And that cubic centimeters is a clue, right? Because volume has 3 dimensions. And then what rate is the edge changing? So I need a formula that relates the volume of a cube and the edge of a cube. Well, if that's my edge, that's also my edge, and that's also my edge. What's the volume of that cube? The edge cubed. That's why it's called a cube. There's your like start. I don't know what farther than you want or not. I guess the puddle would probably be attached, right? Just like off to the side. Isn't that weird? Like it's great. I wish they'd tell you to do that every time. But they
I
just,
like it because I can look at it.
but how do you know if you're like on the
I feel
right?
like I try to get that answer now instead of just like doing the problem with it.
That's why sometimes I don't like having the answer key
It's like I wish
It was on the
that's
next
learning. That's not
because yeah,
bad.
but
But it
I like
doesn't.
instead of trying to think to how to figure it out, I like go straight to that, and then because I know the answer,
It's the bottom right corner. So like ideally you'd have it open, but you wouldn't look at it until you finish the question. So your answer should be negative, right? The cube's getting smaller, the edges are getting smaller also. So if I take the derivative here, the derivative of v is dv dt. The derivative of e to the third would be 3 e to the second, and then multiply by dE dt. dv dt is negative 5 equals 3 times the edge is 3 times dE dt. And then see, I like it because I can kind of like right now, in my head, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm right, but then when I look down here, I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path. I know I'm right. I can see what you're saying too. So this is 27, right? So if I divide by 27, that's why I get to that guy. Is that okay for 5? Alright, so try 6. I won't say makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So, a circular pool of water is expanding. So, like we dropped a rock in the middle, or not in the middle, whatever. And you get those like waves around it, so the circle's getting bigger. And that has to do with area. So I'm starting off with area equals pi r squared. Take the derivative of a is 1, but you took the derivative of the variable, so multiply by d dt. Derivative of pi r squared is 2 pi r, but then multiply by dr dt. So this, in a couple ways you can tell. So the water is expanding, and that is talking about the area. And again, this label, the squared, means we're talking about a two-dimensional thing, which is area. So that's kind of a couple clues to give me the 16 pi is the dA dt. And they tell me the radius is 4, and I'm looking for dr dt. So then that gives me like 16 pi equals 8 pi times dr dt. And if I divide both sides by 8 pi, those would cancel, the pi's would cancel, and I would get to inches per second for my answer. A 6. Yeah.
I understand all of that. I just confused on the label on inches squared per second and stuff like that.
Like, how do I know that's area, you mean?
Yeah, because like I feel
So, if it's a two-dimensional figure, really, it's like volume. Volume's 3 dimensions, right? Like, you need a length, you need a width, and you need a height. So this is always going to be, like, cubed. If you have an area, that's just 2 dimensions, like a length and a width. So that's always going to be squared. Am I answering your question or no?
yeah.
Okay.
So like
And then, like, length, radius, like all that, that's just like one dimension. Those are just going to be like centimeters.
and it's always on the top side. Because like I feel like didn't we do like miles per hour squared or something?
So that's different, yeah. So in this one, we're cubing the, like, not the time, but the amount. So the inches or the height or the feet or whatever. When I start doing, like, as things change, this would be like inches, this might be inches per hour. Then I'm doing the change in that, that's going to be inches per hour squared. But that whole time I'm measuring inches, I'm just changing, like, the time frame I'm looking at. If you're changing this, like the units, now you're changing, like, the dimensions. Yeah, I get that's confusing. You got squared on top and the bottom. Other questions on 6 or no? Alright, let's try 7. So, I'm going to get stuck on purpose and then show you, like, the side quest. So I see this. How fast is the surface area of the balloon increasing? I know that's my surface area formula. So I'm going to take area equals 4 pi r squared. And I want to know how fast the surface area is expanding. So if I want to know the rate of change of the surface area, then I should take the derivative. So I'm going to take the derivative of this. So dA over dt equals 8 pi r times dr dt. And I know I'm ignoring something that I need. Some of you already did it. Just bear with me for a second so I can run into my mistake. Well, it's not a mistake. I said it done yet. dA over dt is what I'm looking for, so I'm not supposed to know that yet, so that's fine. And then R is 4. But then I don't know dr dt. It doesn't tell me that. And I can't find dA dt if I don't know dr dt. So what could I do to find dr dt? This is like the side quest.
You know like how big like the volume is expanding. So can't you like use the other equation to like find the dr dt?
Exactly. So they gave me this for a reason. If I go over here, think about the variables. If I take the derivative, I'll have dv dt, but do I know that? Do I know the change in the volume? I do. That's my 60 pi. I'll have an R, which I know. So the only variable I won't know when I do this is the RDT. So if I go through and solve this, I can find the RDT. I'm going to have you guys do it, but I'll do it in a minute. This will allow me to find the RDT, then grab your RDT and put it here, and then you can find the ADT. Let's see, alright? We'll try it. I can't tell if you're about to ask something after you just said you got it.
Oh, yeah.
You're good? Okay. This reporter used to say something like, your hands are below your desk. You're either looking at something you shouldn't be looking at, or touching something you shouldn't be touching. I didn't say that. This reporter said that. I've never said that. You're like 75. Pretty much anything. I missed that. Is he gonna help out with the spring stuff? Spring track? Because it'll be past that like window, I thought. I hope so. Okay. So pretty close to what you guys said. Right.
You take 30 and multiply it by pi. I think the answer is 30 pi.
Yeah.
And I just got a number.
So you just forgot like the pi was there.
Oh, I like did it right. You can take 30 pi. Like you take 30
Oh.
times pi.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I was so confused. I was so
Okay.
far off.
So you got like 90s.
I got 94.24.
Okay. So take the derivative here. I'll get dv dt equals 4 pi r squared times the RDT. So this is that inches cubed. So what does that apply to as volume? So that's cubic inches. So that's inches times inches times inches. That's 3 dimensions. So this is 60 pi times equals 4 pi times the radius is 4 squared times the RDT. So this is 60 pi equals 4 squared is 16 times 64. Let's do this without a calculator. So we don't have to worry about the decimal thing. If I divide that by 64 pi, that all cancels. The pi's cancel, and 60 over 64. Anybody reduce that? Nice work. So that's 15 over 16. 15 over 16 here. Like that was the whole point, so that I could go back to what I was really trying to do, plug that in. And now if I multiply, it's like 32 pi times 15 over 16. So you kind of cancel the 16. Like take away 116 there, take away 2 there, and then you can get to your 30 pi that way also. What do you got for that? Question on it? Should I keep going? Should I give you guys? What's best for you guys?
Kind of like this gold problem.
Yeah, that's okay. So try 8. Yeah, I want you to try it before I just start doing it, but that's good. Let's do one at a time. One thing I want to mention on 8 before you get too far into it. This is the point O, so our little person is standing here, and the plane is flying on a path that will take it over the observer. So the plane is actually going this way, which is different than I'm used to. So I don't know if you guys assumed that or the other one. But if it's going to fly over the person, it hasn't yet, so it's coming toward the person, which changes your sign.
Well, if no, besides that the plane was flying the path of A to O.
Oh.
So it's like if you were looking down on the globe at the plane flying, it's gonna fly directly over the person from point A, and it's gonna fly over
So where's the person?
Oh,
Like three-dimensionally, like it's in that room, in his version. But I'm not too worried about his version, so we can just
Yeah,
move on.
yeah, let's do that.
He's saying like, do you want me to try it?
No, I'm. Yeah, no, because
No, it's great.
yeah, I got that.
So I think you can kind of tell the most common question of these triangles. You guys are prepared for the test next week. Probably what you would see.
Will the little picture be already gone?
Could be. If it's like a convoluted scenario, then it'd be like really hard to draw. I'll draw it.
Okay.
If it's like something reasonable. Like this one, I would probably draw it. Mostly because of that negative. Okay, so the airplane is here and is flying toward the observer. Well, if I draw like an X and Y axis, is that positive or negative? If it's going that way, that's negative, right? So my dx dt is negative 600. Yep.
Why could the plane not be going the other way?
I thought that at first, but then it says, so the plane is here, right? The person is here.
The plane is at A.
The plane is at A. An airplane, point A. It's flying over a person at point O. And it will fly over the observer. So it has to go this way. Unless we're going all the way around the globe and come back. So, but usually, yeah, I thought the opposite at first too. X, they tell me, is 5. Y is this vertical distance, is 7. What's dy dt? It's 0 because this vertical distance does not change. So that's not a variable, that's not a rate, it just is 7. Z, I don't know, but I can find it using Pythagorean theorem. So it'd be the square root of 5 squared plus 7 squared. So Z is the square root of 74. And then dz dt is what we're after. So that's the only one we're missing. We do not need a sign quest because we have everything else. So x is 5, x dt is negative 600, y is 7, dy dt is 0, so that's all just going to go away. 2 times the square root of 74 times dz dt. So sorry, it's kind of messy there. This will be like negative 6,000 equals 2 times the square root of 74 times dc dt. And then I would divide both sides by 2 times the root of 74. And that's a totally fine answer. They just said, okay, 6,000 divided by 2 is 3,000, so they reduced it. That answer would be acceptable also. What's that?
I was asking him, but
Suppose
What if?
could the A/B test ask the question the other way, like it is going around the globe?
That would think so. Let's make sure we understand why this is negative. Does it make sense that z is negative? If this plane is flying closer to the person, isn't this distance getting like smaller? So it should kind of make sense that it's negative. I mean, you could do it. It would just be x isn't 5. X would be like the circumference of the globe minus 5, whatever that is. You do the same. That just means they're usually pretty good about not being
That's just stupid.
That's just stupid. And I gotta give it. Stats, I wouldn't say the same. Stats, I think they're jerks to be jerks. No, it's pretty straightforward. Try not. Like the idea that you have to simplify, like that's cool because they're like, do it on calculus. That's cool. So if you want to be on the same page as me, I'm calling this x, this y, and that's z. Call me A, B, and C. Zach, you know that. Depot minimum PT.
This year is the best way to calculate.
suck.
She's not doing it right.
This year's just awful.
Just to sit in or just.
Yeah.
We have to sit in
Oh no, I would so much rather sit in these than the stools. There's stools in zoology and like
Oh, those are terrible.
Give us a power that like we just stand here and relax.
So at least these have like a bag. This one's
Zoology, if you want like the desks that are checked, like they're attached to the chair, that's stuff around.
the ones that
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
really fancy ones, the MTS. They have backs for it.
Yeah.
The wiggle chairs.
No, the under the seat.
Um, yes, if you broke your elbow, you're like, you're gonna walk it in there. Carry back.
Yeah, that is your arm is broken.
And it was pretty much just a school.
Well, because there was a rule that you were not to carry your backpack in the middle school, but then Dana broke her elbow, so we had to carry her backpack.
They made me get a clear backpack. None of the kids on crutches had to get clear backpacks. Other people that broke their arm didn't have to get clear
Dana was the
backpacks.
only one.
I mean, you seem pretty big.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you, if you're in a sling, your elbow's broken, you're gonna do a crime.
I broke mine months before. I didn't have to. She was the only one.
They literally copied on
I mean, if you weren't acting out all the time.
They forced Dana to shove all her stuff in with one hand and try and get it in the clear.
You buy DY.
It's pretty funny.
And it was like transparent plastic too, so it was like really hard to see.
the C on there, the TC.
We had to have water bottles, they had to be clear.
That's
Oh,
because that was because of someone brought in a really.
Really, you just think there's so much clear alcohol.
Exactly.
Mr. Princeton.
And he brought in cough syrup and vodka.
Keep going.
Literally.
Keep going. Keep going. If you're on 10, or when and if you look at 10, he has the answer positive in one place and negative in another. It should be negative. The answer 10 is negative. I can't remember if the book says negative or not. Positive in the book, so make it negative.
No.
Should be negative. Number 10, the answer is negative.
I was like, nice.
Yeah, it says on the answer key that it's
Okay.
It's because the distance between the boat and the dock is getting smaller. Your X is getting smaller.
Yeah.
The boat is getting closer to the dock. So your TXT is a negative.
Shouldn't it like negative over negative is positive? Is that then does that make that negative, right? That makes this negative then. That would be negative.
It's a deep Y.
the whitey key is zero.
Oh. It's negative, so this has to be negative. You divide it, it'll be positive. That's positive? Okay.
No, you had a positive divided by negative. No, you had a negative divided by positive.
No, they're both negative. I'm dividing a negative by negative.
How'd you get negative 40?
Because it's going
But that's gonna like the DXDT will be negative. That's how.
Oh,
Just don't apply it now. Apply it. I think I should. I think you had it. You would not have put that negative.
no, I had a negative.
Oh, okay. Well, then what you just told me was negative DXDT.
What? No, because I, well, because it's a negative DXT, so I just was like, oh, there's a little imaginary negative one.
Yes.
Divided by 48. Negative 48. So you get positive, because you're gonna have to do either way. You divide by negative. If you divide by 48, two negatives still here. You still just divide by negative.
It ends up being negative because she
I got it right. Hello.
your answer should be
Doesn't make any sense though.
So you threw a negative. Which means at the end you have to unthrow it.
Wait, okay. So this is right.
Yeah.
With the negative. And this is not supposed to be a negative.
We don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
Just the information.
So it's like that.
Yes.
And then you do the math. And
You
that's
get a negative number.
that. And
Which
it's
makes
negative.
sense because the rope is getting closer.
Because I did C squared
Well, like,
minus Y squared.
It says the rope. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. 'Cause it, like, ah.
How fast is a bad question? Is a bad to bad word?
Yeah, 'cause, like,
fast.
how fast? It's coming into the dock, so it's going negative.
Oh, does it say how fast?
Yes.
That's why it's not.
It's
Because-
not right.
speed is
Speed is
speed.
Speed is positive. Speed's actually bad. So you just gotta get the number and ignore the sign.
I'm good at ignoring things, especially math.
Yeah, let's just ignore number 10. How about that?
I'd like that too.
Ignore number 10.
Do we see where I'm getting?
No, do number 10.
Do we see where I'm getting these numbers from?
Yes or no?
Yes.
That's what we're looking for. 15 was Pythagorean theorem. You guys get there? 3 is positive because we're going this way. Our dy dt should come out negative because we're going down. So I don't know if I have time to do the whole thing, but I could like start.
Wait, so the answer's negative, the answer's positive.
The answer is to 9.
10.
10 is positive.
Okay. Cool.
9, I believe, will be negative. Am I right on that? Oh, it says it right there. And then this is 0. So you just end up with like 16 dy dt equals 30 times 3 is 90, so negative 90. And if you divide by 16, that's your answer, or if you reduce it, you get that. And let's just pretend number 10 doesn't exist. What? That's not that bad, but I feel like I'm confused.
I believe in you, Noah.
What's the x for 10? Oh, you know x, don't you?
I think 11 is
Oh, sorry.
because I tried
Sorry.
it and I it's like I ended up getting
So it's like y is 7, is 25. X is 24. Is that what you're
I
asking?
BS all of the math that I
Yeah, I
did,
did
so
that.
it's wrong,
That's just my.
but I got it.
You know how to get it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I keep messing it up. I messed it up.
So I can show you that.
What formula?
So that's 0.
A equals 1
Yeah, no,
half.
I'm good.
Okay. This is -4. That's what we're looking at.
All that we know about A right now is that it has to be
You'd like cut better to move different teachers.
No, I said I think I would find them both easier if I had a different teacher because they kind of just blend together. You know what I mean?
No, I like
Because it's
it.
like
That's where the
Oh, you mean Stetson College?
it's just it's the same person, the same environment,
No, I
and
like
like
Oh my god. I know.
Because somewhere in there it says the area is increasing.
I think
Yeah.
the only thing that
I
really
wish it
helps
was
is
further
how
in
this
my
is different. It's like this is in
They're only
yours.
like 1 hour.
I got class. I did double check.
More time. So we got
Yeah, I need
So
like
proud of you, Noah.
like 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's my first hour for this, so.
We're talking about
So do 4, 6 notes for tomorrow. Remind me, and I can do 11.
I did double check.
See,
I have a question.
Someone say 11, sorry? I can do 11.
No,
Okay,
he's-
tomorrow.
My switch? You don't have it.
Okay, someone, oh, $1.